just to kind of get a sense of what kind of experience our transfer students have at St. Olaf. So they'd be joining a community of 3,000 students, right? Their academic experience is of course meant to be very interdisciplinary, just true to our liberal arts roots. And then if my slide will change here, there we go. For students, right, who are intending on continuing a major, it's going to be maybe a little bit of a secondary step. So we can, of course, do a preliminary credit evaluation, just given that we don't accept MNTC and it's not quite as clear of a transfer process for our students. Additionally, students who are expecting for maybe a full associate's to transfer, that may not be the case for us. And the reason for that is because we also have a limit on how many, so let's say a student took PSEO courses in high school. If they didn't reach the 6 St. Olaf credit limit then, and then for any transfer courses that they're hoping to transfer, as long as it doesn't surpass the 18 St. Olaf credits, we have, of course, 1 St. Olaf credit equals 4 semester credits. So we can think about that as roughly like 72 credits that could transfer over. So keeping all of that in mind, we're going to want to see additional syllabi for courses that they're expecting to transfer to one of those 85 specific majors. But in terms of general credit transfer, students can count on that if they earned about a C or higher on their courses. As to music and nursing, that is a question that our students sometimes have. Transfer students are eligible to apply to nursing and music. So their process is a little more specific. For music, we just manually open a application for them, so they should really communicate that ahead of time. And then for our nursing students, there is an additional process they would go to. They would first apply to the college. Once admitted to the college, then they would be eligible to apply to the nursing department along current OLEs in the fall. So in terms of timeline for them, it is maybe more mindful for them to perhaps think about communicating with us prior to the fall, but if they're intending on starting during the fall semester, they may need to be aware that being admitted to the nursing major is not a given until they apply towards the end of the fall semester alongside current OLEs who are also applying to the major. And of course, let me know if any of this is unclear through the question and answer format through Zoom. As to our community, right, our students are going to have some form of orientation experience, whether it's in the fall or the spring. So we do aim to have their cohort undergo, a group-based transition to campus to make sure they're having a successful personal transition, being familiarized with our resources, and so on and so forth. As to our deadlines, I have 1 mid-year transfer deadline and 1 transfer deadline for students interested in joining us in the fall. St. Olaf, of course, has that 4-1-4 calendar. So we have fall, spring, and interim. Students are not allowed to start during the interim semester. It's just a harder transition for our students. So we've gotten rid of that option altogether. Students are eligible for merit scholarships, all the same as our first year students. And of course, we are still committed to meeting need for our transfer applicants. As to the materials that are required for our transfer students, it's going to be very similar to what we expect for our first year. So Common or Coalition app, high school transcript, regardless of how many credits they've earned, an official high school transcript, official current college transcript, and then a letter of recommendation. Students often ask me if that has to be from a current instructor, and it doesn't. We're of course understanding that a lot of our students may only have taken online courses, and maybe there is a supervisor or high school teacher that best can speak to their academic ability and personal values and such. So I'm a little flexible with it, even though ideally I'd prefer for those to come from a recent instructor. Very briefly, right, in terms of outcome and support, our students will still be able to access all of our departments on campus, including our Piper Center for Vocation and Career. So that's not something that they need to feel like they are going to be missing out on. That's certainly accessible to them. I'm the primary transfer coordinator for St. Olaf, and so have them reach out to me for additional questions. Thank you so much.